Republic Act No. 7080. An act defining and penalizing the crime of plunder. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the Philippines in Congress assembled. Section 1. Definition of terms. As used in this act, the term A. Public officer means any person holding any public office in the government of the Republic of the Philippines by virtue of an appointment, election, or contract. B. Government includes the national government, and any of its subdivisions, agencies, or instrumentalities, including government-owned or controlled corporations, and their subsidiaries. C. Person includes any natural or juridical person, unless the context indicates otherwise. D. Ill-gotten wealth means any asset, property, business enterprise, or material possession of any person within the purview of Section 2 hereof, acquired by him directly or indirectly, through dummies, nominees, agents, subordinates, and/or business associates by any combination or series of the following means, or similar schemes. 1. Through misappropriation, conversion, misuse, or malversation of public funds, or aids on the public treasury. 2. By receiving, directly or indirectly, any commission, gift, share, percentage, kickbacks, or any other form of pecuniary benefit from any person, and/or entity in connection with any government contract, or project, or by reason of the office or position of the public officer concerned. 3. By the illegal, or fraudulent conveyance, or disposition of assets belonging to the national government, or any of its subdivisions, agencies, or instrumentalities, or government-owned or controlled corporations, and their subsidiaries. 4. By obtaining, receiving, or accepting directly or indirectly any shares of stock, equity, or any other form of interest or participation, including promise of future employment in any business enterprise or undertaking. 5. By establishing agricultural, industrial, or commercial monopolies, or other combinations, and/or implementation of decrees and orders, intended to benefit particular persons or special interests. Or, 6. By taking undue advantage of official position, authority, relationship, connection, or influence to unjustly enrich himself or themselves at the expense, and to the damage, and prejudice of the Filipino people, and the Republic of the Philippines. Section 2. Definition of the crime of plunder, penalties. Any public officer, who, by himself, or in connivance with members of his family, relatives by affinity or consanguinity, business associates, subordinates, or other persons, amasses, accumulates, or acquires ill-gotten wealth through a combination, or series of overt, or criminal acts, as described in Section 1, d, hereof, in the aggregate amount, or total value of at least 50 million pesos, shall be guilty of the crime of plunder, and shall be punished by life imprisonment with perpetual absolute disqualification from holding any public office. Any person who participated with said public officer in the commission of plunder, shall likewise be punished. In the imposition of penalties, the degree of participation, and the attendance of mitigating and extenuating circumstances, shall be considered by the court. The court shall declare any and all ill-gotten wealth, and their interests, and other incomes and assets, including the properties and shares of stock derived from the deposit or investment thereof, forfeited in favor of the state. Section 3. Competent court. Until otherwise provided by law, all prosecutions under this act shall be within the original jurisdiction of the Sandigan Bayan. Section 4. Rule of evidence. For purposes of establishing the crime of plunder, it shall not be necessary to prove each and every criminal act done by the accused, in furtherance of the scheme or conspiracy to amass, accumulate, or acquire ill-gotten wealth, it being sufficient to establish beyond reasonable doubt, a pattern of overt or criminal acts indicative of the overall unlawful scheme or conspiracy. Section 5. Suspension and loss of benefits. Any public officer against whom, Any criminal prosecution under a valid information under this Act in whatever stage of execution and mode of participation is pending in court, shall be suspended from office. Should he be convicted by final judgment, he shall lose all retirement or gratuity benefits under any law, but if he is acquitted, he shall be entitled to reinstatement, and to the salaries, and other benefits which he failed to receive during suspension, unless in the meantime, administrative proceedings have been filed against him. Section 6. Prescription of crimes. The crime punishable under this Act shall prescribe in 20 years. However, the right of the state to recover properties unlawfully acquired by public officers from them, or from their nominees, or transferees, shall not be barred by prescription, laches, or estoppel. Section 7. Separability of provisions. If any provisions of this Act, or the application thereof to any person or circumstance, is held invalid, the remaining provisions of this Act, and the application of such provisions to other persons or circumstances, shall not be affected thereby. Section 8. Scope. This Act shall not apply to, or affect pending prosecutions or proceedings, or those which may be instituted under Executive Order No. 1, issued and promulgated on February 28, 1986. Section 9. Effectivity. This Act shall take effect after 15 days from its publication in the Official Gazette, and in a newspaper of general circulation. Approved, July 12, 1991. Prepared by him, who is the mighty king of my castle of love, Taunton of Philim Band. Have a nice day, and study hard.